Mark Rogers TV talking up those Minnesota Golden Gophers. Jerry Kill has built himself a program in Minneapolis. Gophers defeat the Huskers today 28-24. They came back from 21-7 down to get the job done. We talked about it earlier in the week. I said, I don't know which Nebraska team's going to show up after that demolition by Wisconsin last week, but I know which Minnesota team's going to show up. It's the team that shows up every week. Not the most athletic, talented, fast team that you're going to find in America or the Big Ten, but gritty and determined, and they know how to win games. They win games in the clutch. They play 4 quarters of football, and they did it in this one, down 21-7, coming back to win 28-24 with their best player on the sideline, David Cobb, who they rely on offensively almost predominantly. 15 carries for 80 yards, but had to leave the football game, missed the entire fourth quarter. So they went to guys like Donnell Kirkwood at tailback and Roderick Williams, who ran for a 19-yard touchdown as the Gophers got back in the game. So the big play turned in, got to see it on the highlights. Nebraska down 28-24, driving. Tommy Armstrong found the freshman, Pierson-El, who had his best game of the season by far. Caught passes, 4 catches for 87 yards, but fumbled on the last drive of the first half with Nebraska going in for possibly a 28-7 lead. Fumbled inside the 10-yard line, and then more critically in this series of plays, fumbles stretching the ball into the end zone, making a football move into the end zone to win the game with about a minute to play, stripped by Brien Boddy-Calhoun, who makes the strip. The kid's got 4 interceptions this year. He's one of the leaders in a secondary that is really improved in Minneapolis. This Minnesota defense forces turnovers, one of the best in the nation at forcing turnovers, especially that defensive backfield, and it was Calhoun making the play of the game and maybe the season, because this sets up Minnesota to play Wisconsin in Madison for the Big Ten Western Division and a date with Ohio State in the Big Ten Championship game. The Gophers are 8-3. They're not a great football team. They should not be considered for the college football playoffs, but they're a very sound football team, and it's fun to watch because Jerry Kill has done as much as he can with the resources and with the personnel that he has in Minnesota. Again, David Cobb on the sideline, Berkeley Edwards on the sideline, their edge rusher, their outside threat, and they made it happen in the fourth quarter, winning over Nebraska. The first road win over a top 25 opponent since 2000. First win in Lincoln since 1960. Minnesota goes to 8-3 with a 28-24 win. And again, all things looking good. This Minnesota defense is rock solid. They gave up a ton of yardage to Ohio State last week, but held the Huskers in check. Tommy Armstrong threw for 223 yards. Ameer Abdullah, 20 carries for 98 yards. If you hold that guy under 100 yards, that's a victory as well. So it sets up Minnesota, Wisconsin next week again for the Western Division Championship. And for Nebraska, again, they're headed in that direction. They were 8-1. Now it's 8-3. It looks like another 9-4 is coming. Iowa win, bowl loss. Iowa loss, bowl win. It's going to be possibly another 9-4 finish for Nebraska. Is that good enough? For most Husker fans, probably not. Is it realistic considering recruiting? Recruiting in terms of the migration of the talented base of players moving to the South and the West. Is this Nebraska football? Is this the type of football outcomes we can see at Nebraska and anticipate and come to be okay with in the future? Is this the plight of Nebraska football? Possibly hoping to vie for a championship once in a while, but relegated to 9-4 most of the time. You can comment on that. Would love to hear your response to the state of Nebraska football. And is Bo Pelini doing as well as he can in Lincoln, or could somebody do better? And on the positive side, let's talk this Minnesota football team and the chances they have against the Badgers coming up next week to get to Indianapolis and a date with Ohio State in the Big Ten Championship game. Let's talk it up right here on Mark Rogers TV.